Are security lockers still worth it? I've seen multiple videos pop up if it's still worth or if the nerf was too hard. People complaining that you shouldn't take the security breach anymore and they're mad at the developers that everything got nerfed to the ground. Other people had loot for free, that it's completely useless now and no more pings. And I wanted to address the situation and give you guys my thoughts. First of all, I think a nerf was absolutely necessary. It was ridiculous how strong they were. I think I was one of the first to actually have it unlocked because I was no-lifing the game. I skipped all the stamina talents on the yellow tree and went for the red security breach as fast as possible. At that time, it was literally free loot. It was boring as hell. I did multiple security locker runs a day, 4 to 5 at the very least, and always got multiple pings. I had unironically 40 to 50 pink weapons within 2 days. That should never happen. That is not okay. That is not balanced. So even though it was benefiting me, I instantly, on the very first day, said this should be nerfed. It's ridiculous. This is not okay. This is way too strong, way too OP. So for me, it's crazy to think that other people think it's not okay to nerf this. And I'll gladly sell everything and start new, which I will with the new wipe, and not take a single security locker. What's the fun in having everything for free that fast without working for it? So that's my initial thoughts. So now let's address the question, is it still worth it now after the nerf? I think it is absolutely in a fine spot, and I know people will hate me for it, but I would say nerf it even harder. And here's why. Currently, you can just use a free loadout to keep your gear score low and to match with other low gear score players. Then on every map, there are certain locations you can just instantly run to and hopefully get 2 or 3 of those lockers really quickly within 2 to 3 minutes, and then go from free loadout to, at the very least, blue and green weapons, sometimes even purple. So now you're fully prepared in that lobby of low gear score players that don't have any, weapons or nades or whatever, and you are stacked to the brim. Now you can just run around with a huge advantage and just down people for free. That is still not okay. In my opinion, that is still too strong. These lockers should not be a guarantee for really, really good loot. Really good loot should be every 4 or 5 lockers, in my opinion. Keep it in a way where green weapons are usual, blue are pretty rare, and then pinks are super rare, maybe every 10 lockers. You could add some blueprints that aren't too crazy or valuable that pop up a bit more often. Ammunition, bandages, just general supplies would be okay. Now I do have some other ideas how to nerf it without making it completely useless and people getting mad that, they skilled into the skill tree and now it's kind of meh. Number 1. Make them random. Make the spawn points random. Keep the general locations where they can spawn consistent, but don't spawn every single locker every single time. Every raid should be different, and sometimes they spawn in one location, and sometimes they spawn in the others. Don't have all the security locker locations spawn in the very same raid every single time. So this way you might load in and sprint to your favorite location, but this time it spawned in a different one. That would make it a little bit less predictable and a little bit less farmable. That's number 1. Second one is have a limit or a cap on how many you can loot per round. So let's say you load into a raid and you're allowed to loot 2 security lockers. Max. That would still be fair. You could still have luck and get really good loot or, be prepared for that round, but you could also be unlucky and not get that great stuff. And then you're done. You can't loot all the other security lockers on the map for free. Or make them really risky to take. Have more arc presence around them, or if you open them, there's a huge alarm going off because they're security lockers, right? They're super valuable. So maybe there's an alarm that goes off and everyone around the area knows that you are currently breaching those security lockers and people will hunt you down for the good loot. And maybe, arcs also get alerted and swarm the area. These would all be options to nerf the lockers without indirectly making it useless. It would just make it more risky and less consistent to get insane loot out of it and get an advantage. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this. Maybe you also have some better ideas how to balance this a little bit better. I do think they are still very much worth it, if not still too strong. That's already it. That's my take on the current state of the security lockers. Happy looting and see you guys soon.